What's up, Facebook? What's up, everybody? It's your main man, D to the J, with the roll away. And I know I usually don't come up here, but on Wednesdays and a few other times, but I had to do this for a couple of reasons. Give me a few minutes because I want to talk about something. And I titled this To Whom It May Concern, but there's a reason for that. Every week I do my show and I post in probably 90 or so groups, 97. I go through and I post religiously because the only way to get myself out there is to post. And I respect people's opinions and what people think. And I've been doing my show for I want to say almost 3 years straight now with with my CP especially. And I start, of course, when I started with Sports Minion, that's when everything kind of really started growing. I do this to get my name out there, but I also do this to give opportunity to people that want to share their story. And what I'm going to talk about for the next few minutes is I realize it can seem a bit repetitive, and I realize that some people and they have shared their concerns, and I respect that about posting on their pages. But I only post once a week. I don't I don't go and I don't post every single day. Some people post every single day and they post in groups every single day. But I try to keep it to once a week to all my groups, and most of my groups are that I'm with or that I'm part of. And when I say my groups, I don't mean mine. I don't own them, but groups that I have joined or groups that I am part of, I ask them, can I post on your page? Is it okay if I post on your page? Um, and when someone says, look, I need you to not post on my page, or I need you to take this down, I respect that. I try to be the best person I can, and respect people's wishes no matter who they are. I don't care if because the last thing I want to do is make anybody feel like I'm trying to uh, take over their page in any way, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I will say this: I want to send out a personal shout out to every fan that has stuck by me in the last 3 years in supporting my CP, in supporting the Sports Menu Radio Show, and supporting Chairmaster Games. I have got guys that go through, ladies and gentlemen, and go through and like all of my stuff and heart all of my stuff. And that means a lot, because when I go and I do shows and I do different posters and I do different flyers and I get comments on them, that makes me feel good, because that lets me know that my fan base is there and continuing to grow. Now, I'm not going to stop posting because someone asked me not to post on their page. I'm just not going to post on their page. And it's not that I, want to show any disrespect for them. I'm actually going to respect what they want me to do. And if they don't want me to post on their page, that's fine. There's no disrespect or malintent with that. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. My show is going to grow with or without you, and that's, you know, the way it's going to be. But honestly, to all of those who have been with me since the beginning, I was looking, and we're getting ready to do episode 81 now, and we're approaching 100 episodes, and that's a hey Dan, how are you? That is a huge milestone for me and the Disability Broadcast and Kelly's Choice Cares, uh, and again, a big thank you to my support team, to Winnie Wilson, to Corey Wilson, to Kelly Smith, to I have to also thank Let Go Radio, because we're a part of them as well. I want to the people that have really stuck by me, and all of my group members that every Friday, Cindy and Bibiana and Christina and Kyle and um, Jill, and goodness, there's so many of us. Siobhan, she has stuck by me. I mean, there are people that watch every single week. Nikki Tony, every single week, watches my show and supports my show and puts it, shares it. And when you guys do that, it really, really helps me out because it not only gets the show out there, but it gives people an opportunity to listen to something they may have never heard before. So I really appreciate all of the time that you guys are taking to help share my show, to put it out there, to share it on different platforms. And please continue to do that on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, because the more it gets out, the more shows that I can do and the more opportunities I have to bring guests on that haven't shared their short story, or that they have and they want to come back for a part two to show progress and what they're doing and how they're doing it. So it is really amazing to me that the show continues to grow, and there are going to be some hiccups in the road. It is not easy to put on a show like this. It is not easy. You have to be dedicated and you have to want to do it. It doesn't just fall into place. You have to put forth the effort and you have to expand yourself. You have to reach out. Special thank you to Corey Wilson for last week being on the show. I'd waited 3 years for him to be on, and I'm very glad that he was able to do so because, good things do come to those who wait. And it's worth it. When you get something that's powerful and when you get something that means a lot, and then all of a sudden, you reach out and you look and you've got 12,000 views or 15,000 views on something that needs to be talked about. That's what my CP is about. It's about broaching the issues that haven't been broached before. I've had people from Australia. I've had people from England. I've had people from the other side of the world, from Brazil. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to do. I am trying to come across the entire world to this platform and let people know that my CP is not just about a disability. It is about proving to people that your story deserves to be heard, that you do have a voice, and the way to do it, there is a professional way to do it. I'm not just going to put anybody on my show because they want to be on it. Your story has to be powerful and it has to be real and it has to come from you. And that is the reason that I do these shows, for the people that want to be heard and also need to be heard, because there's so many that don't know what cerebral palsy is. There's so many that don't know about the disability community, that think you can't talk to a person with a disability, or you can't be with a person that has a disability, or you can't spend time with a person that has a disability. And all that is false information, that you can catch a disability from another person. Most disabilities are not genetic. There are some that are, but most disabilities are not genetic. And all a person needs is a hello or a how are you, or to take some simple time to break the ice and get to know them. So I wanted to take just this couple of minutes to say thank you to all the fans that have supported me for 81 episodes. We're getting ready to have 81 episodes this Wednesday with Miss Deborah Sweezy. She's going to be on our show next week. She's actually wanted to be on for a while, and she's supported my show as well. She's very familiar with Charles Wooten. I'm sorry for Charles said that wrong, but I know, with everything that she goes through and being a nurse and all of that, she's been through hell and high water to get where she is. So this is going to be one of those opportunities to hear something that you may not have heard before. So tune in if you'd like to learn something, or if you want to do something fun, sit down with your family. And if you have a question, ask, because the only way your question is going to get out there is if you're brave enough to ask it and find out the truth, because some people may not know. And again, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bridge the gap of disability to where people will understand, or different abilities, to where people will understand that you can talk to somebody, you can ask a question, and there is a right way and a right time and a right place to do things. And that's what we've got to remember as a society. We can't say society made us do this, because we are the only people that can change what society does. Because the last time I checked, we are also very much a part of what society says and does. So we have to be the ones to break out of that mold, to break out of that shell, to say, look, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. I am very, very excited. Hi, Lena. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's very true. Some of the shows that I've done, and many of the shows I've done, are life-changing. And it's life-changing for me as well as the guests that I have. And I'm not going to have a guest every single week. Some weeks it's just going to be me, to where we dive into DJ a little bit. But I will tell you, it means the world to me to have fans like this, to have viewers like this, to have guys and girls and women all over the world, men all over the world, children all over the world, commenting and hearting and smiley faces and all of these things that come across, that it touched my child to hear that, he was important. I didn't think of that. I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think I could fight for my child or myself. We can fight, and we are the ones that have to fight in order to get to the point where we are happy enough with ourselves, and we realize that we are worth it. Disabled community aside, the fact that you have a disability does not mean you are not worth it. That's where we've got to get past the point of saying, I have a disability, now I have to do this. No, you are worth it regardless, and that's what you've got to see. But the only person that can see it and the only person that can start with it is you. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that support MyCP does not define me. That was founded 3 years ago, a spawn off of the Sports Minion Radio Show. It's amazing to me. I had almost 48 episodes, 58 episodes of 48 episodes of the Sports Minion Radio Show. And when I began, MyCP does not define me. I made the playlist, and I didn't know how far it was going to go. And it was something that was in my heart, and I knew I wanted to do. When I approached the Wilsons about it, they were gracious enough to allow me to do it. So think about what God's grace has done for this show. And I honestly, I want to thank God as well, because without him, I would not be where I am today. And I just want to continue to be the best I can be. But I tell you, it is, Don, thank you for that. That you can read all you want, but hearing stories directly from someone with a disability puts a whole different perspective on what is involved in day-to-day life. That is so true, my brother. Don Hunter, another one that's been on my show. Steve Brent, another one that's been on my show. Very good friends of mine. Very, very close with those young men. Nikki Tony, I mentioned Nikki earlier, supports my show every single week. I don't think she's missed a show since my debut of MyCP does not define me. And it really, it is really amazing to have a fan base and a support team. As I said, the Wilsons, Nikki, Christina, Kyle, Shayna, many people, Cindy. Every single week they come up and they comment, and it's the questions that I get. It's the questions that I get when the comments, start coming in, and when the people start feeling the story that the person is telling, and they can relate to it and grab onto it and dive into it. And then they want to be part of it and ask questions about the person. Well, how did you do this? Where did you get to this point? That is what we need. That is what we need in this world. That is what we need in this life. That is what we need in this community, disability aside, because we have to remember that it's not only our disability that makes us who we are. It helps us to become who we are, but it does not mean it's completely us. So thank you, Nikki. I love you too, sweetheart. I really appreciate all that you help with. And it's so many, the memory, and one of the reasons that I'm doing this, and again, this did not come out of negativity. When I said, because I post once a week, and I post in a lot of groups. I post in 80 to 100 groups every week, and some people do more. And I'm going to continue to do more and continue to grow. But I also post with Instagram, with YouTube playlist, and different things like that. Some people are, because I go to pages every week, some people feel that I post too much. Some people feel that, can you take these down? It's becoming more your page than mine. And I respect that. I'm not gonna fight with anybody that doesn't want me to post on their page, as I said earlier in the beginning of the broadcast. But what I want to say to you is this: thank you for being honest enough to ask me. Thank you for being fair enough to ask me and not being disrespectful about it. Because a lot of people can go, a certain way and say, I don't want you to do this because you do this wrong, because that's not how this happened. If somebody comes to me and says, I feel that this shouldn't be, I'll say, hey, if you don't want me to post in this group, if you don't want me to post on this page, that's perfectly fine. I respect it. No problem. It is what it is. I'm not going to be mad at the person, because ultimately it is their page or their group. If the person that runs it doesn't want me to do it, I'm not going to do it. That's why I try my best. And I can't say I've done it for all, but for most of them, I do try to ask, is it okay if I post once a week about my show in your group? Because my show does relate a lot to CP, not only cerebral palsy, it does relate to other disabilities, but it relates a lot to CP. Now, I do want to mention this before I go. There are going to be some changes coming to my CP, a couple of things with different disabilities, because I'm trying to get a disability perspective on what we're doing. Okay. So what I want you to understand is I'm going to have different types of people, okay, that are on my show, that have been on my show. Some are going to come back, some are going to re-air, some are going to be new, okay? But I'm going to have a person with one arm. I may have a person with no legs. I may have a person that can't speak but can type, okay? So for this to happen, okay, I'm going to purchase the pro version of StreamYard to where I can leave comments and the person can leave comments and ask questions. I am going to have a person that is nonverbal on my show, and the person that I'm going to have, I've spoken with them before, and we're going to do it where they're going to have someone with them that can help translate. But I also want them to be able to type in what they want to say, because when you read what this person types, when you understand who this person is, and even though he or she is nonverbal, it's one of the things where you read the comments that they write, and you're like, oh my God, how have I not had you on my show before? Because what I want to do and what I'm trying to do is break through barriers where you say, well, this person can't speak, this person can't be on your show. That is not the way I work. Okay, if you want to be on my show and your story is powerful, and we have a way that we can make it happen, then I'm going to do my best to put my best foot forward, my best wheel forward. I will do everything in my power to make sure your story is heard. If we have to type out the questions in advance, if I have to have someone to translate, if I have to have someone with the person to help communicate, I'm going to do the best that I can do to make sure that people that need to share their stories and their life experiences on this show happen. Okay. And for those of you that stick with me, okay, there are a lot of changes getting ready to happen in my life in the next few months. My life is about to explode, and a lot of people don't know this. My life is about to explode in many, 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 many ways. I have a CD coming out. I'm in the process of putting out an album. 3 albums in a row are going to end up hitting the stands. I'm going to be on Pandora. I'm going to be on iHeartRadio. I'm going to be on Spotify, 5 different musical platforms. There are things that are happening in my life because God has allowed it to happen, and I have people in my life that support me. Big shout out to Steven Taylor, one of the greatest musicians I know, and he is phenomenal with helping me with this album. And let me explain something about this, and I'm talking about this a little bit more because I have wanted to do this since I was 12 years old. Now, I have put out 1 album. The first songs that I ever put out were Bow Your Head and Pray and Promises to Keep, and I put that album out in 2006. That album came out with John Mays Jr. and myself. We put that album out. It wasn't produced. It wasn't edited. Nothing like that. We did it at Cornerstone Church of Augusta off of Tinkling Springs Road in Waynesboro, Virginia. But now that everything is being remastered, now that we have the software and the computer to do it, we are remastering it. We are putting our my harmonies in there. We're putting backup guitar, drums, all of that. We're doing all of these things, and we're working on it together. And we're the cost of this is not cheap. To put out an album and to get the CDs and to get what we need to get and to get the covers and all of these and the albums and the copies run about $700 to $800 per album, depending on the style that you do. So all of this that happens, there are a lot of things happening, but The one thing that will not change, I'm going to continue to do my show every Wednesday. I am going to continue to push through and to have guests and to have people, because I want to show people that you can succeed. But as Steve Harvey said, I also want to show that you can be great. Okay? Because success is one thing. Success is one thing. Anybody can be successful. Okay, you get a degree, you're successful. You go to school, you graduate college, you're successful. You learn to drive, you're successful. But to be great, okay, to be great and have God's grace, you've got to push through all of that and continue to be more than that. Okay, because you can't stop and be stagnant once you hit one thing. What are you going to do with that degree? What are you going to do to make money? What are you going to do to reach people? What are you going to do to grab a hold of the disability community and rock them to their very core, to let them know that they're wanted and loved and appreciated? You know, Lena said this, I like this. I may not be able to watch the show live every week, but I watch the replay, and it has helped me grow as a person. Very inspirational for me. I appreciate the support of our group also. You know, to hear comments like this, you know, and Lena has been part of our group for a very long time. When the group comes on the show and the group interacts, there's so much of a family element on this, so much of a family routine on this, that I feel like, you know, I'm doing the right thing. And again, I cannot go without saying, and I'm going to say this again out loud, and I know I've gone 20 minutes, guys. I know it's been a little bit long-winded, and I appreciate you sticking with me. But again, because of the Wilsons, because of the opportunity of the Wilsons, almost 4 years ago, I have had an opportunity because of them and what they've allowed me to do, to be on the radio and for my voice to be heard. I've always, 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 always. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I appreciate it. Tim Thompson, great martial artist and friend. You know, again, it's people like this that sometimes I'm not sure. It's hard sometimes, because sometimes I'm not sure if I'm making the impact I need to make. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm going hard enough or fast enough or full enough, or if I have enough inside to go. But you go through times like this, and it's hard because you push as hard as you can, but you've got to go a little bit more. And it's because of people like the Wilsons and like Kelly and the group that we have and the family support that I get from my viewers and my commenters and people that continue to support my pages and the show and all of that. It's what makes it grow, because growth itself takes nourishment, and nourishment takes people, and people take time. Okay, because you have to understand, for something to be powerful and something to hit home and something to go inside of something else, it has to hit a certain nerve to where it keeps you where you are at that moment, where it keeps you where you are in that moment. What are you talking about that has the person sitting on the edge of their seat wanting to know more? I wish I could remember his. I wish I could remember his name. His brother Calvin. He does. He cares for his brother Calvin, and he's on my Facebook. He's been at Miss Winnie's conference. Gosh, I cannot remember his name. If I could remember it, I would say it out loud. But he is one of the people. He has my brother's keeper tattooed on his arm. Phenomenal speaker. And I got a chance to meet him 3 years ago. And you know, when you find somebody that care, Tony, yes, Tony, thank you, Nikki. I met him, and you talk about somebody powerful, you know, but not because of who he is only, but because of what he does and what he shares. It's just amazing, because there are so many, sometimes there's so many roadblocks in the road, and you ask yourself, you know, am I doing enough? Is it enough? I have days, and guys, yesterday was one of them. I had to call on the support of quite a few people yesterday. Yesterday was a rough day for me. And I didn't get on Facebook. I didn't talk about it. I didn't say anything about it, but I called the people that I needed to call, got through what I needed to get through, and moved forward. Okay. Because I've said before, you cannot stay in uh, uh, um, the path of darkness for very long, because if you do, it will overtake you, and you have to be very careful with that. So I wanted to spend these couple of minutes with you and this time with you to let you know thank you. It means so much. Okay. And I really appreciate all of your support. And those of you that are new to the show and that come in for the first time, if you have a question, email me. If you want to be on the show again, email me, carterdj85@gmail.com. I am going to have a new email just for My CP Does Not Define Me. My CP Does Not Define Me at yahoo.com. I'm in the process of getting that patented and all of that. So, it's becoming more of a brand for me. So again, people like Tony that take full care of his brother Calvin, Miss Wilson that takes full Miss Wilson and Mr. Wilson that take full care of Kelly. The family of the Wilsons, Zanaya, and all of her daughters, and her son, Calvin. I mean, I know the family. It is very, very, very wonderful to be able to have a family to relate to and say, okay, they listen to my shows and they support and they give me ideas. And then when you're able to continue to do this, and see, this right here is, sorry, this right here is what I'm talking about. Moments, Shannon again, or Sharon, sorry, thank you. I appreciate it. Lena, you've made a big impact on me. I used to be so quiet, but not no more. I'm so happy. It has been life changing. It has. Lena has come out of her shell directly. She used to be so quiet, and now she's not. You look at Sharon and things like that. To being on the show before and to comment and to come in there, it's so hard when you feel like, am I doing enough? And that question comes up a lot, because I want to do more and I want to stretch myself further. And Miss Winnie has had a lot of confidence in me. The Wilsons have had confidence in me and continue to give me more opportunities. And I've been working with Kelly's Choice now for, like I said, almost 5 years, and it's something that Kelly's Choice Cares has really magnified the radio personality within myself. And a radio personality was given to me. That title was given to me by Miss Wilson, and I cherish that. I do. Everything that she does for us and for me, I cherish, and I will never forget that, because it is those moments, it is those breakthroughs, it is those opportunities that make us better people. Okay, but I'm going to end with this. Everybody has the ability to be great, but greatness starts with the first step of imagination. Steve Harvey said this. Okay, your imagination are the previews to your coming attractions. Okay, how many of you have had a good idea that you thought was a great idea and you presented it to somebody else and they shut you down before you ever started? Okay, that is why this is your imagination. Everybody has their own imagination, their own thought, their own process, their own belief. Okay, but you have got to start your idea by making it not just an idea. You make it a goal. When you make it a goal and you put it down on paper and it becomes a vision, you've got to follow your vision. Your vision takes work. Your vision takes effort. Your vision takes pain. Your vision takes happiness. Your vision takes sadness. Your vision takes all of these things, and it molds it into this ball, and then your vision explodes across the world. And when your vision is tightened and heightened and pushed and modified and picked up, and God gets a hold of it, and it starts to roll, and your vision starts to carry weight, and your vision starts to mean something, and other people get a hold of it, and some are going to try to take you away from it. Some are going to try to knock you down. Some are going to try to push you away from it, but others are going to support you, and they're going to grab you, and they're going to pick you up from your darkest places you've been in. And they're going to say, keep going, keep pushing, because you are making a difference. You are doing the right thing. You are doing what you need to do. You have to put forth the effort to make your vision a reality. And do not let anybody tell you you can't do something, or that's too much, or too hard, or you don't have the ability to do it. Anybody can do it. They have to put their mind to it and find a way across that negative platform that everybody else has, because your vision starts with you. It is your imagination, your eyesight, your heart, your soul, your entire being that you are putting into your vision, not anybody else. Okay? When it starts as your vision. Okay, and Edwina has told this story so many times about Kelly's Choice Cares. It was so big when she first saw it. It was so big when she first got onto it that she didn't know what to do. And she's like, you want me to do this, God? What in the world? I can't do this. It's huge. Okay, so you got to understand, when your dreams are big enough to scare the ever-living bejesus out of you, and you go, holy crap, how in the world am I going to figure this out? That is when you have that moment and say, okay, am I going to make this a reality, or am I going to keep dreaming about it? Because you can only stay in the dream stage for so long. Okay, but remember, if you have it in here, if you see it in here, that means that you can make it a reality. You can become what you want to become because of who you are. But you've got two types of people. You've got the stagnant people that stay where they are, and you've got the people that move forward and say you can. Okay, there are plenty of them that will tell you you can't. Okay, you're going to get more you can'ts than you cans. You're going to get more no's than you get yeses. But you've got to understand, for your dream to become a reality and for it to shock the world, it's that one powerful yes that you get, and that one chance that you get, that you take, that one moment that you get, that one opportunity in the thrift store where you meet somebody and they go, I want you to come on the radio, and I want you to meet my wife. And I want you to come on the radio and tell your story. We're going to get you on the radio to tell your story. That happened to me, okay? I have been in radio before, okay? I took all through middle school, all through high school. I took every radio class I could get into. People tell me I have a great voice for radio. That is training. That is not just voice, okay? I got an opportunity. God gave me an opportunity, and I literally ran with it. Okay, this is not something that just happened overnight. God put things in place by time. God put place in things by people. And when this happened, when this moment happened, when this opportunity happened, I grabbed it. And I did not let it go. Yes, it's been hard. Yes, there's been bumps in the road. Yes, there's been times when I went, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh my God, how in the world am I going to get through the next week? But then you have that moment, and you have that thought of, now this is what I have to do. I have people in my corner to lift me up. I have people in my corner to hold me up. I have people in my corner to walk with me, talk with me, share things with, go through things with. Understand that I'm telling you, this is the part of your life that you have to make come true, because they can only go but so far. The people that support you can only go but so far, because the person that has to do it, the person that has to see it, the person that has to understand it is you. You have to take your dream and you have to make it a reality. There's nobody else that can do it for you. People say, oh, I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. Have you ever thought that God's waiting on you to make a decision? And he believes that you can, because he gave you the ability the entire time. I'm going to tell you this. I've told this story before. I remember I was comfortable doing Sports Minion. I was so comfortable doing it. I was comfortable with it every week. 30-minute to an hour show. Sports, Olympics, this, that, the other. I was happy. Okay, then I got my CP, man. I said, okay, I'm expanding. I'm good now. I'm in my zone. I'm in my comfort zone. This is where I'm going to stay. And I remember when Miss Wilson and I were sitting there and we were talking, and she says, DJ, I want you to do more. I want you to start an Instagram. I said, Miss Wilson, I don't want to start an Instagram. I don't need to start an Instagram. What are you talking about? I want you to start another YouTube. I want you to start a blog. I want you to do more. Okay, I want to see you succeed. I want you to expand your brand. That's what she told me. That's what she asked me to do. That's what she wanted to see. And I looked at it, I said, this damn lady has lost her mind. There's no way I can do this. Let me explain something. She saw this in me before I ever made it happen. But here's the thing. When you light a candle and that candle flickers violently, okay, because that candle is trying to catch that flame and catch that wick and burn at its brightest. A candle fires most violently before it goes out. Miss Winnie did not allow me to go out. Miss Winnie did not allow me to stay in my comfort zone. So many people stay in their comfort zone and say, okay, I'm good with what I'm doing. And that's okay to a point. Okay, but here's where we've got to understand each other. Here's where you have a chance to be more. You have a chance to do more. You have a chance to be the greatest person that you can be. You have a chance to see this, and you have a chance to understand that this is your chance. But if you let that light flicker out, okay, and you stay in that zone that you've been in, okay, and you stay where you are, how many opportunities are you going to miss? When Miss Wilson asked me that and I got angry, and when I say I got angry, it wasn't I was angry at Miss Wilson. Let me tell you what happened. I was angry at myself because I knew she was right. And that moment of realization, when I started Instagram, when I started my own blog, it took me 4 hours to get everything set up on Instagram. It was hard because Instagram is a phone app and I'm not used to using my phone through Instagram. So Miss Winnie and I had many conversations of, okay, try this. We had to go through and work together. I had to have people to help me. But once I started learning the system, and once I started using what I had and seeing my own potential, listen to me, you got to see your own potential. When someone believes enough in you to see your own potential, and you go from doing something good and doing something well to being great and having a brand and letting what God is giving you expand and letting him mold you and open you up. See, a lot of us are closed people. Now, I want you to think about that. A lot of us are closed people because we go, I can't do that. That's too hard. I can't teach martial arts. That's too hard. I can't become a black belt in martial arts. That's too hard. I can't be a world champion. That's too hard. We are setting limits on ourselves before we ever get started. But Miss Winnie and Mr. Wilson and Kelly's Choice Cares saw limitless potential within me. The problem is I had to take time to develop into who I was to see the potential that God installed in me within myself. Because it really doesn't matter who else sees it. It really doesn't matter who else sees it if you don't see it. Okay? It really doesn't matter what you have if you don't use it. You know, and you have said that, JP. I've always told you that Miss Wilson is one of your guardian angels. It gets proven every week. You know, and the funny part about it, the drive that she has to allow her children to succeed. I'll say that again. The drive that she has that allows her children to succeed is because She has drive herself. Okay. And it's not all about Miss Wilson. No, it's not all about Mr. Wilson. No, it's about what they have done to allow us as people, because there are many people that she has helped, and people don't even know. People don't even have an idea, because it's what she does. It's who they are. It's an amazing growth within oneself to realize I was at one place and she helped me excel to another. I was only going to be up here 15 minutes. I Sometimes when something gets in your heart, it's amazing what God is able to do and to put the right words in there. And it's amazing to me, again, the support of the fans of this right here. The fact that there has been someone on this the entire time, because somebody is grabbed by this. There's somebody sitting out there saying, I want to do something. I just don't know how to get there. I just don't know how to take that first step. And sometimes, guys, I'm telling you, that first step is the hardest. That first, to go back what I was talking about earlier, 3 YouTubes, Instagram, a Twitter, a blog, a TikTok. Miss Winnie asked me, okay, and once the spark hit and once I realized what she was talking about, it became, when can I do more to grow what I have and make this big dream? Now think about it now. I said earlier, Miss Wilson said this, if your dreams are not big enough to scare the crap out of you, they're not big enough. Okay? When you've got something that you want to do, it starts here. It starts here. Remember, it is your imagination that are the coming attractions in your life. Steve Harvey said that. Now, what you have in your imagination, you have to apply to your goal. Okay, once it becomes your goal, then you get it down on paper and you put it where you can physically see it and physically understand it and physically grab a hold of it and read it every day and start believing in what you're doing. When you start believing in what you're doing and understanding that now it's no longer a dream, it's becoming a reality, it's different. Because that in itself is motivation. Man, when I first did the first episode of the Sports Menu Radio Show, I'd been on the radio before. I was so freaking nervous. I didn't even know what to think. Am I going to run out of material? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I announce the wrong team? All the what ifs. It's part of it. Okay? Life is full of trial and error. Do you all understand what I'm saying? Life is full of trial and error. Okay? Be all right with making a mistake. Understand, it's okay to make a mistake. Understand, you don't have to get everything right on the first try. Understand, as long as you learn from what you're doing, you can go from point A to point B, but don't miss the in-between of point A to point B, because you've got to learn from it. You see what I'm saying? You got to be able to grab a hold of something in your life and say, I want to do this. Okay? I wanted to be a singer, and I wanted to put out an album since I was 12 years old. Okay? I was a 4-time district champion all through high school, 4-time all-city champion, 6-time all-city champion, all the way through middle school and high school. We went through and had to get handpicked and all of that. I have been involved in music and radio my whole life, okay? And until Steve and I got together through karate, and God blessed us with the ability with music, and him with guitar and piano and bass and all of this, we began to blossom our relationship together for the love of music, and we begin to connect. So not only am I working in martial arts on becoming a black belt, but I'm growing, okay? All of these goals and all these things that are happening, I'm growing and I'm learning within myself. Man, you can do this. You can compete. You can go. And thanks to Grandmaster Jack Dart for that, for opening the door to allow me to compete. I will never forget those who've helped me get where I need to go. Understand that there are people in your life that are going to help you get where you need to go. Never, ever, 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 ever stop being thankful for those people. Because God put those people in your life for a reason. It may be for a season. It may be for 2. It may be a lifelong journey. Miss Winnie is in my life, and I pray to God that she stays in my life until the day I die. And I pray that she's able to speak and know that I did the best I could with what I had and the dreams I wanted to make come true. But God put the spark in me, and Miss Winnie was able to multiply. Now, you think about that. You got somebody in your life. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I thought I was done, but you got a spark in your life, okay? And it starts as a spark. But you want to turn that spark into a fire. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? To make your dreams come true, to make them a reality, to see your vision, to explode into what you want to do, you got to grab a hold of it. You got to grab a hold of it to the point to where it burns, to where it hurts, to where you dig, to where you fight, to where you punch, scream, kick, yell. You got to go through hell to get where you want to go. Sometimes it's so hard you feel like you can't take a step forward. Sometimes it's so hard you feel like you don't understand. Sometimes it's so hard you feel like everybody is against you and your back is up against the wall. But when your back is up against the wall, there's nowhere else to go but forward. When your back is up against the wall, there's nowhere else to do. There's nothing else to do but push back and take that step forward. And when you get that first step forward, acknowledge that. Acknowledge that. Because, hey, Cindy, how are you? It takes time. It takes time in your life to get where you want to go. And if I could say anything else, I'm going to say this. Acknowledge the little things. It's amazing where God is taking this video right now. It's amazing to me where this video has come into. And I pray that Ms. Wilson and all of you that are on here just continue to tell your friends and grab them, because there's somebody struggling right now. They fell so many times and they fell just short of the goal, and they're looking at the finish line saying, I wish I could get there. I wish I could get there. All you got to do is pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. So many people I've said they failed. I've said it. I've failed. I couldn't get there. I didn't do it. Watch this. Watch this. One word is going to change that. I couldn't do it. I didn't get there. I couldn't get to the goal yet. You see what I did? Yet. Okay? Because I'm not stopping because of one barrier. I'm not stopping because of one thought. I'm not stopping because of one obstacle. I didn't get there yet. I didn't make that $1 million yet. I didn't get that new car yet. I didn't get that new house yet. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to get it. See, you got to stop putting barriers in front of yourself before anybody else knocks you down. You are powerful people. We are powerful people, and we have the ability to be great. But to be great, you have to go beyond success and go beyond this. Go beyond your imagination. Take those previews and coming attractions and turn them into the movies of your life. Turn them into the movies of your life. Think about that. How many of you go to the movies and you get there early? Because you want to see the what? The previews. You want to see the previews. You want to see what movies are coming. Oh, I want to see that. I want to see that. Do you know what that was? That movie was an idea. That movie was a thought. That movie was something powerful. That movie was something so great. That movie was something so amazing that you thought, I want to see that movie. I want to see that movie. I want to see that preview. That preview is in your imagination. That preview is in your mind. So take what's in your mind and make that vision a reality. Make that vision a powerful reality. Grab a hold of it. Take your dream. Take all that you are and all those things that people told you you couldn't do and make it happen. Because the first step to acknowledging your dream is realizing that it's yours and nobody else can take it away from you. Nobody else can take it away from you. Nobody else can change it. Nobody else can move it. Nobody else can lose it. Nobody else can go anywhere and say, I'm taking your dream away from you. You have the ability to be great. You have the ability to be a dreamer. But you also have the ability to take that dream and turn it into a dream come true. Your reality. It's no longer a dream. When you have people in your corner that acknowledge that you can. You're welcome. Thanks for the encouragement you have given me. Extra push I needed. Sometimes the encourager needs encouragement. Yes! Everybody needs a little kick in the butt every once in a while. I'm going to end with this. If you take what a dream is, and you take what an actual thought is, and you take what you actually want to happen in life, hey, Ms. Winnie, I started out talking about one thing and it just exploded. You take all of that. You take all of that. A dream starts out right here. Now, I want y'all to listen to the end of this because I want to apply this. I told a little bit of this story before she got up here. When Miss Winnie saw what was inside of me to expand my CP does not define me into what it is now. She saw it before I did, but I had it. You see, I said earlier, sometimes it takes a spark to ignite a flame. But when you ignite that flame and that flame burns, and you look inside the flame, there's a blue hue that comes from the hottest part of that flame. That blue hue is the drive of that flame, the dream of that flame becoming that reality. You've asked this question before. How do I get from point A to point B? Believe it and achieve it. I said at the beginning of this that Steve Harvey said, your imaginations are the coming attractions in your life. Take those coming attractions. Listen to me. Take those coming attractions and place them on a movie reel. Because when you place your coming attractions of your mind on a movie reel, that's what makes it happen. When you see it everywhere, on your refrigerator, on your mirror, write it on your bathroom floor in chocolate syrup. I'm telling you, put it somewhere where it ignites your flame. I said it on this show 5 minutes ago, not even 5 minutes ago before Miss Winnie Wilson got up here. When she started Kelly's Choice, before it became Kelly's Choice Cares, it was so big. She said, "Why, God, what, God, you want me to do what? It's too big." But when you grasp a hold of that point of what it's going to become, when God puts something inside of you, you can't snuff it out. God put it in there for a reason. I came up here to thank all my fans for 81 episodes of a great brand. I came up here to just be thankful. And this happened. This exploded. But it exploded because I'm grateful for what I have, for the Wilsons in my corner, for the people in my corner that when I need them, when I'm struggling. I told y'all yesterday I was struggling. It was hard. I didn't know what I was feeling, where I was going, and the only thing I could do is call somebody. And some days it's going to be hard, where you're going to look at it and say, Lord have mercy, what do I have to do? Sometimes you got to step back for a minute to take a bigger step forward, to get past that pothole. See, there are potholes in the road. I said before, be okay with making a mistake. Because a mistake is not the end. It's just a different way of learning, of getting it done. Don't say, I'm not going to get that house. I'm not going to get that car. I'm not going to drive. I don't have it yet. Speak those things that are not as though they are. Stop stunting your growth before you've even poured the water on the seed. Before you even put the seed in the soil. You got to speak it into existence. That's how it becomes a reality. Do you think that when Miss Wilson started Kelly's Choice, she didn't talk about it? It was on her mind. She tried to walk away from it. She couldn't. Because God filled her whole existence with it. Do you understand? When you got something in here that's big, it's bigger. It's bigger than the world itself. It's bigger, bigger, bigger. It explodes into a reality. And you finish it, and it's like, how in the world did it get this big? Because God intended for it to be. Y'all got me sweating. Stop stunning your growth. Stop stunting your growth. If an obstacle is in your way, go by it, go through it, go around it, cast it out. The word says God gave us the power to cast out demons. That's the truth. But if we don't use it, and we don't take that first step, and we don't make this, we don't write it down. If you knew how many times Miss Winnie will be on the phone with me and she'll be talking, and I'm just writing. Because when she sparks an idea and she wants to see something happen, I remember it. It sticks. It's like peanut butter in my brain. She can tell me something. I'll go back 2 weeks later and say, you know what, when you said this, Miss Winnie, you go back when you said this. And how do you remember that? Because when somebody has the good nourishment for you and the good things in your life and the things that you're going to succeed by and the things you're going to get better at and the things you're going to live for and the things you're going to drive in, you need to make it stick. Don't run from your dreams, embrace them. Stop running from what you want. Embrace it. Stop letting people tell you you can't, and realize that you can and you are. But the only one that it starts with is you. Is you. If you got up here late, I'm begging you, go back and watch this. Because this one here, I learned something myself. I was not intending to be up here an hour. I literally was going to be up here about 15 minutes. And God put something in me and it came out like a fire. You never know what direction God is going to take you until you follow him. And I'm just thankful. And this whole video, I titled it "To Whom It May Concern." And again, to all my fans, to all my supporters, all my group members, Edwina Wilson, Corey Wilson, Kelly, the Wilson family, my mom, all of the people that have been up here commenting. Thank you guys. Continue to share these, continue to push them out, continue to comment, continue to ask questions. Please, please, please share, because this video sparked something. This video reached somebody today that was struggling. This video got somebody out of a hurt zone and into a heal zone. This video made somebody feel better. This video got somebody moving, got somebody grooving, got somebody living. You got to get in there and you got to dig, people. Please share this. Please, please share this. That's the statement I'm going to end with right there. If one thing in my life that I've learned from this lady, and I'm still learning, get rid of the negative stuff in your life. Don't speak it. Don't speak it. And I'm telling you, it is possible because she doesn't. She's taught me how to do it. It is still teaching me how to do it. Sometimes don't speak. Sometimes listen. Sometimes take a step back and be quiet and see what a person is really doing in your life. Are they helping you? Are they harming you? Are they giving you that spiritual guidance or that nutrition that you need? Have you cleaned out your closet? Have you cleaned out your garden? Have you gone through and have you seeked God for what you really want to do? Have you asked him, am I moving in the right direction? What direction do you want me to go in? Don't just take off and start walking somewhere. You got to have guidance in your life to move. Don't just move. Move when God says move. I know some of you out there may be questioning if God is real. I'm telling you, he is. God has done so many things in my life to make it great. I can't even tell you all they are. But I will tell you this. If you're wondering about realism, if you're wondering what makes life right, if you're wondering if God is real and how can he clean you up because you're so messy and you're so hurt and you've done so many bad things and you want to get rid of it all, go and open up the word and know John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. I know you're struggling. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know life has hit you in the back, hit you in the side, hit you in the front, punch you in the stomach with a dodgeball you ain't ready for. I know it's hard. Sometimes you feel like you can't hold yourself up. Sometimes you feel like it's too heavy. I just can't take no more. Well, if you're one of those people out here today and you're saying enough is enough, I have a solution. Give it to God. Ask God to come into your heart and take away the pain, take away the dirty, and to clean you out. Ask God to come into your soul and live. You can't find the answers you seek. Seek Him. Seek Him. Because He's all the answer you need. Now, I'm not sure where or why it came to this right here, right now, but all I know is there's somebody out there right now just sitting on the edge. And they're tired of being alone and feeling like they're the only one left. Well, I'm telling you today, you are not alone. Because God's right there with you. And He's reaching out His hand, and all you have to do is take it. Take it. You've been looking so long for an answer. You've been trying so hard to figure it out. Open your hands up, lay them flat, and let Him take it. He'll figure it out for you. Stop carrying the burden that you've been carrying for so long and give it to Him. For come to me with your trespasses and your sins, I will carry them. And you will be forgiven 7 times 7, and your slate will be wiped clean. For when I am in your heart, you will be made anew, and your sins will be washed away. Be washed away today, and make your dreams come true. For with God in your corner, anything is possible. God makes all things new. There's nothing you can't accomplish without God in your corner. When you got God in your corner and you listen to His voice, you can make all things happen. I hope that this touched somebody today. I hope that somebody gets something out of this and it shares somewhere. I hope and I pray that somebody will grab a hold of this and your life will be changed. Your life will be changed. I know that sometimes you're tired and you just want to lay your burdens down. Because when you carry something by yourself for so long, it's just so heavy. Well, lighten your burdens at the feet of the cross and allow God to carry them. Because when God carries them, you're never alone. Be blessed and know that God is with you, and so am I. Thank y'all so much for being part of this today and spending an hour with me. Share this. If you haven't watched it, go back to the beginning and watch it. I'm asking you, please, learn something today. I love you all. Thank you so much for being part of this. Please share it. Please share it. Make your dream a reality today. Because I'm here to tell you, if my dreams can come true, so can yours. Thanks, guys.